Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, July 7th, or July 9th, sorry, 7 a.m. here I am, but July 9th. Oh my goodness, look at this nice candle we're putting in the SPY. Here's the first thing I'm going to say, and everybody's going to be like, oh man, don't ruin it, Heather. Candle looks really good. Need to see it follow through the day. Market's not even open yet. Remember yesterday, we were way down here at the bottom of this candle. And I told everybody, look, the day's not over. We do not know that this is where we're going to close. And we fought back pretty nicely. Came right back up to the 8. This morning coming in, nice inside candle. Nice open window candle. Looking pretty good. Let's pop over and look and see what that looks like on the actual SPY. Because look at this open window of this candle on the SPY. We opened up, like I said, way down here and crawled our way back up throughout a good portion of the day. We had an initial move, and I did step out of my CRM trade. I held on to Peloton. So why did I not sell everything, or why didn't I just hold everything? Well, first of all, I didn't know the market was going to do that. It's shocking, but I didn't. But what I did say before I started was that I would let the morning volatility settle out and then make a decision. The reason I do that is oftentimes that first half hour is so volatile that it doesn't really give you a good picture of where the rest of the day is going, which is why I tend to use half-hour ORBs, not just 15 minutes. That just works better for me. Okay, so in this little lesson about that is don't knee jerk. Now, if it just makes you feel better to clean out, clean house when we have days like that, that's fine. But don't do it just as a knee jerk reaction. Make sure it is a very thoughtful and purposeful action as to why you're doing it. Again, we often have that volatility so early that if we had continued going down very early and really pushing and racing with a lot of volume, probably would have cut a little bit earlier. CRM, the reason I cut it is because it spent, here's the chart on CRM, and look at it, recovered by the end of the day a fair amount, but it had spent so much time down here in that first hour of the market below the 20, I decided to cut my losses. I can go ahead and buy back in. It's shocking, but I really can. I can buy it as it comes right back up and fills this gap. Not on the game plan here to do that today, but it's not on my list. But we did hold on to Peloton because it, although dipped below that 200, it spent most of its time hanging out here above the 200 and just kind of grinding higher. So glad I held on to Peloton, and it's continuing on this morning. But, all right, this morning, a lot of things are giving great reversal plays. Don't throw all your money into one basket. I'm going to tell you that right now. And again, that first half hour to hour where there is so much volatility, if you enter something and then after that hour markets start to fade, we flatten out, that is a cue to you. Be on the watch for maybe more flattening. I don't know that that's going to happen. I'm impressed right now that we are getting this nice push and follow through so far this morning, but the market's not even open. What matters is where we close this afternoon and how we manage our trades in between that. Trades, what are we watching? Let's go ahead and take a quick look. I'm going to look at a couple here. That monster candle, we've had a lot with some monster candles, but space, look at space. Oh my gosh, that volume. A lot of charts had great volume yesterday, by the way. A lot of them made really good pushes out of their lows. But what I talked about space a couple of times here, we drew this trend line in, and look at how we have honored that so very well. Took off, and now don't forget their launches this weekend, I think. So a lot of excitement going into that. Now, is it going to be a sell the news event on Monday? Maybe. I don't know. Would I hold it through? Probably not. But I think it's a great day trader because there's so much volume and excitement built around it. So if you do decide to hold it through, maybe hold a smaller amount through. Or you'll have to decide if it's something you do want to hold through. It's kind of like holding through earnings, because once the events happen, a lot of that extra volatility is now drained out, which means you're paying an awful lot for the excitement, but then you're selling after everything's known. So not that great. Boeing had late day news regarding China. They're going to do some flights and, looking at the at getting Boeing back on board there. This popped so quick yesterday afternoon. Someone had pointed it, I think it was November, had pointed it out in the room when it was happening. So I took a look over. Charles was just then starting to talk about Boeing, and look at this candle. Held in, nice little flag here, continuing this morning. So I do like Boeing as well. Again, I think more of a day trade, just in case we don't get that follow through. They do have earnings coming up. That volume ended up being nicer, and I think, let me just take a quick look this morning. They are still pinned just below the 50. So we're sitting right up below this 50. So a lot of resistance, but potentially a really good day trader there on Boeing. Boop, 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 boop. Tesla. Several talked about Tesla yesterday, so I wanted to touch on it here. We have the 50 and the 200 giving us really nice support here. We pushed up above the 20. I still feel like there's a lot of room here between the 8 and this point of control. Really good money to be made there. But I would be very cautious of this point of control line. You can see that we have failed it. Ugh, we gave it up. So just keep an eye on that if you are trading Tesla. Okay, airlines making a nice move here this morning after a lot of charts look like this. They gap down and then push their way back up. Check out the airlines this morning. They are doing pretty well overall. Trying to get people back out. We dropped on the COVID resurgence overseas. There was just kind of a lot that pulled the airlines down, but today they are definitely making a nice little fight back. Okay, ones that I actually like that we talked about, I like Etsy. Etsy yesterday just did a great job, came up over the 3 and the 8. Beautiful candle here, like this for the continued move up. Not a lot of resistance really until we get either to this fib line at 202.83. I actually like it up here to about 206 on Etsy. Keep an eye on the 820-200s. Nike continuing here this morning. Look at that chart. We do have this really nice channel moving along here. I like that. A break above either yesterday's close, or conservatively pure breakout at 161.50. Looks good. I would keep an eye on the Nike 820-165. mRNA. Watch this one yesterday. Bullish engulfing. Put these lines. This is not even worth having on there anymore. There we go. Look at that big bullish engulfing candle. And I like this for just pure continuation and a play all the way up. There's not a lot of resistance here now until we get to that recent high at 245.70 on Moderna. I would watch the 820-240s. Speaking of bullish engulfing, look at what Target did. Now the candle doesn't look nearly as exciting. Doesn't look like a Moderna candle, but look at this again. Use the 8. Use the 8. The 8 has been a pretty good support here for a while, so keep an eye on Target. I like the 820-250s in that. This one came up on one of the scans. A big candle came up over it. Came up on the over 50 scan. Okay, look at this huge candle up over the 50. Filled a gap here. Now I haven't watched ball in a really long time, but I like the look of it here. Anything over 85.30, I like BLL, and I would take a look at the 85s, the 820-85s. I have a huge list. I'm just picking out the ones that I like the best, by the way. There was a lot that came up on this list for continuation, so just wanted to let you know. I mean, there's just a lot, so we'll probably get a lot of chatter in the room about ones that are moving really nicely. Here's another one that's a bullish engulfing candle. Look at that. ate up all of yesterday's price action. This one, you would have no idea that yesterday we had a bad day in the market, right? It just looks like a normal candle. Kind of like the look at that volume dropped off just a little bit. But keep an eye on Lily 822.40s. And continuing charts, cost here continuing on this morning like nothing is going on. Keep an eye on some of those ransomware names like Crowd and Net. Net, beautiful move off the 20. Pan W fighting its way back. Roku making a really nice move. Now Netflix is going to be reporting earnings. They did not have the same kind of day that Roku did not come back very well, but the candle overall didn't drop down nearly as much either. So take a look at Netflix for a play into those earnings. PayPal and Square. PayPal made a nice move up yesterday off of the lows, but Square here, check this out, we're hanging out just below the 20. Watch for the reversal play in this. We use this point of control area. There's a lot of volume sitting here, and now we have this nice little gap to contend with there on Square. I know several are playing Square. And some consumer defensive. Look at Pepsi. Kind of wicked a lot, didn't really like that, but this was one that yesterday we looked at because it was one of the trades that was actually green. Cost was green. And let's look at a few of the really big names. Look at Amazon. My goodness, we talked about Amazon during the day. A few of you played it. Love that. I wish this candle had been down here, make it a little bit more of a sandwich like we like to see. But still a beautiful candle. Ate up everything, closed up off the highs. And of course, big volumes, so keep an eye for continuation on Amazon. And I still like Apple. So Apple, big, huge run, took a little break, fought back, was actually green for a little bit before resting back in. I like the look of this. Earnings are coming up at the end of the month. There's a lot of catalysts coming up, so keep an eye out for any earnings. If you hop into anything, you can see here on PEP, we do have earnings in just a day or so. But watch for some continuation off of that. So the futures still pointed up here. In the Dow, we're up 254.21. And the S&P, so a good start here this morning. And the NASDAQ actually kind of quiet. They're the ones that are up the least, just a few points there. So watch out for tech rotation into some other sectors possibly. But overall, a very good look to the start of the day as long as we get that follow through. Remember, the first half hour to hour, that'll really tell us if we are going to hold this in or are we going to sell it off here on this Friday. Okay, everyone, I hope you have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, reach out. Heather C. at Giving Tree Trading. I will be looking to potentially add that half back to my Peloton trade. So, but I won't take on too much risk depending on how we look midday. We want to make sure, again, that we have that pure follow through, not just a pop and a sell off. All right, have a fantastic Friday and have a fantastic weekend. I hope to trade with you soon.